Now we will see the last concept and another important concept of structure, which can help you to extend the functionality of the structures for all the practical examples. Okay, so earlier we saw while creating the student structure. Okay, while creating the student structure, here we have created the structure student. Okay, in this particular structure we have seen that this date of birth has been taken in the form of index, and also this address has been taken in the form of string. Okay, so these both variables have been taken in the form of strings, but we know that these are itself a complex data type. Why? Because the date of birth itself has the DDMM, this is date, month, and year inside this, and the address can also have the components like house number, street address, and it can have the city, state, pin code, etc. So the the member variables of a complex data type, which are itself complex. Okay, so the member date of birth and member street address are itself complex data types. So we can create complex data types with the help of for storage of these particular complex data types. Okay, so here we are going to see here. So this is the student, which is the entity, our basic entity. Okay, now this basic entity is going to have, so this is the program, this is the example for having the declaration of the complex structure. We can see here our objective is to store the information about student. Okay, so for this particular entity student, we want to store several informations. Okay, so several informations or several attributes are like student ID. Okay, then we have student name. Okay, then we have its father's name. Okay, and then we have its percentage, and apart from that we also have suppose branch code is also there, so I will write this branch code is also there. The branch code is there, code of the engineering branch suppose. And apart from this we want to store two informations, that is date of birth and another information, that is address. Okay, so these are the fundamental attributes of the student. Okay, now if we consider this date of birth and address as normal strings, okay, so as a single entity if we consider them, so we can use the same example that we do in the previous video, and these can be stored directly as strings. But we can observe here that DOB, date of birth, and this address are itself complex data types. Why? Because date of birth can have three attributes of its own, and address can have multiple attributes of its own. So date of birth can have date, month, and year as its another attributes, its sub attributes, and the address can also have sub attributes such as house number. It has can have colony, name of colony, name of city, name of state, and also the pin code. Okay, so in this way you can see that this is a complex data type. This requires a complex data type, so this would be created as another different structure, and this would be another different structure. And since this student is going to have variables of the substructures, variable of the other structures also. Okay, so that is why this is called a complex structure. Okay, so how to create a complex structure? First of all, we have to understand that what are the structures, what are the other complex data types that we need to create it. So we create them first. Okay, so that is the date of birth structure that is created, and its user defined data type has been created as DOB. Okay, here you can see that this structure address is created, and this structure address is going to have these members. Okay, so this is members of address only, this is members of date of birth only. Okay, date of birth has date, month and year, and here you can see that the address has a integer house number, then a colony name, then a city name, then a state name, and pin code we have taken as long int. Okay, so this is the way the members of address are there, and we have created a user defined data type with the help of this ADDR, with the help of typedef. Okay, now our student, our basic aim is to create the information about this student. Now this student is going to be told or taken as complex structure. Why complex structure? Because it is going to have elements which are of complex data type, are of complex data types. Okay, and since they are complex data type, they would be created as user defined data types. Okay, and user defined data types are nothing but structures. Here we will call them substructures. Okay, now substructures are created. These are the normal variables of the fundamental data type, normal members. Okay, normal members are there, and these are the two complex members. Okay, these are the two complex members, ADDR AD and DOB DB. So AD means it is the member that is AD of the type address. Okay, so this AD is going to have the member variables of the struct address, and this DB is going to have the member variables of the struct DOB. Okay, so in this way the total number of parameters in the student are these three. Okay, these three plus these two, five, and five of the address, and three of this date of birth. And we can also see that the overall size of student is equals to the summation of all the member variables. Okay, and all the member plus complex members. Okay, normal members plus complex members. Okay, so individual size of complex member is C1 and its size is C2. So the size of this particular S is going to be and apart from the complex members, its size is C3. Okay, so the total size S of the particular structure is C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, so this is how the size of the complex structure is calculated. Why it is called complex? Because its element are consist of the elements which are complex data type, and these complex data type can be represented by separate user defined data types. It means we can create separate structures for them, and we can create variables of the type structure in the particular complex structure. So if anywhere, if a structure has variables of the other structures, so this structure is going to be nomenclature as complex structure. Okay, so this is the concept of complex structure. Now we will see how to access the member variables from the complex structure. Okay, so we know that from the example it looks like that if you want to access, okay, if you want to access a variable, suppose we have the variable st of type student. Okay, so this st is going to have these particular values. Okay, so the values are nothing but stid that is student id, then we have student name. Okay, then we have its father's name, then we have its branch code, then percentage. Okay, this branch code. Okay, so that is branch code, and this is percentage. And apart from this, we have two complex data types also. These are the variables as AD and DB. Okay, this AD is a AD is a variable and this DB is a variable. Okay, AD is a variable for the address. Okay, in the line number 24 you can see this. Okay, so AD is a variable of type address and DB is a type of date of birth. So AD is again going to have its own variables, its own member variables, and this DB is also going to have its own member variables. So if we want to access any normal variable, so we are going to use st.stid, okay, to access the normal variable. But if you want to access member variable of a complex data type, so you are going to use st.ad dot its particular member. Okay, so if the members are house number, okay, so you are going to use st.ad dot house number to access the sub member of the complex data type. Okay, so similarly if you want to access the month of the date of birth, so you are going to use st.db.mm. So this is going to be the month of the date of birth of the particular student. Okay, so suppose we have created st1, so this is a student that has been created. Now suppose we have simply here taking the input of the date of birth. So how we have access, this is the student's date of birth date, student's date of birth month, student date of birth year. So the continuous dot operator is used to access the member variables. If there are more levels, more dot operators would be used. Here we have created only two levels, so that is why there is only two dot operators. If suppose this is also a particular this is also a complex data type, then multiple dot operators will be used for every level. Okay, here if you want to access the scanf, here we want to scanf the house number. So what we have done, that is student one address, and from the address we want to scanf only the house number. And since the house number is of integer type and here the individual one integer type, so we have used here the %d and here also %d to get input. Okay, here to get the address of the remaining address of the student, we have used like getters, because these three are the character arrays from the line 13, 14, 15 you can see. And here we have taken input the colony of the student, the city of the student, the state of the student. Here you can see the input that the date of birth from the statement number 35 is taken input like this, from with the help of three percentages. Okay, and these percentages are got stored in st1 dot db. Db is date of birth and its dd, that is the date. Okay, then st1 dot db dot its month. Okay, then st1 dot db, okay, dot year. Okay, so this is what how the date of birth is stored. Then how we stored that the details of the address, that is st1 dot ad. Ad is for address. You can see here that ad has been created for the address, line number 24. Okay, so here st1.ad.house number. Okay, then st1.ad.colony. Okay, then st1.ad. It is nothing but city. Okay, and this is st1.ad.state, and here it is st1.ad. Pin code. Okay, so p code is there. Okay, so in this way all the individual elements are stored. Then this is the storage, this is the input. Okay, this is input of the data. Now output we can do simply like that also, that we want to print the date of birth in this format. Okay, so we have used this particular printf statement to use the percent %d, and how we have accessed them is like this. It is same like this statement, but only ampersand is not there. Okay, then you can see that in 47, in line number 47, we have printed this address, and before that we have concatenated. We have used the strcat function, okay, recursively for the 5 times to concatenate all the strings. Okay, but we know that this pin code and this house number and pin code are in the form of integer. So we have used this I2A function. I2A function converts the integers to character arrays. Okay, and we have used this syntax for ITOA to convert this house number and pin code to the strings temp1 and temp2, and we have considered them in the decimal format. Okay, so the if the house number is taken input as 465, so this 465 is going to become a string like this, and this 305001 is going to be a string like this, and this is going to be stored in temp1, and this is going to be stored in temp2. Okay, so the while doing the concatenation, you can see there has been no spaces added. So the concatenation function does not add any spaces between them. The space between Adarsh Nagar is because of the space already given in the input. So that is why this space is there. Otherwise, the concatenation does not give space. Okay. And so if we want to give space and comma between the address to print the formatted output, so we have to use the printf statement like line number 49, where all the items have been printed in the form of strings with the help of comma in between and %s. So here these were the already strings, and this temp1 and temp2 have been converted with the help of strings, with the help of this function, to the strings as line number 44 and 45. So this is the how to accessing variables from complex structure. Okay, now this is the whole about the structure concept, how to use the structure, what are the practical examples for the structure, how to access variables from the structure. We have also seen complex structure. For this, through this we can create any practical application about the structure. This is the concept about structure and the structure arrays. So this is the particular video that you can use to create any particular physical entity with the help of user defined data types. Okay, so that is enough for this particular video. I will see to you for the upcoming video. Okay, thank you. Till then, stay safe.